and welcome to 9 on the Positive Side. Thanks so much for being here this weekend. FamilyDestinationGuide.com surveyed 3,000 North Carolina families who chose Winston-Salem's family-run Hawks Pumpkin Patch as the best in the state. Chad Tucker took his family in search of the perfect pumpkin.
It's a memory-making fall evening.
Just a pumpkin we're gonna carve and gut.
At Hawks Pumpkin Patch in Winston-Salem.
Just something for them to get their hands messy with and get in and tear it up.
That's $10.
Brian Hawks doesn't consider this a business.
That's $3 right there. Just seeing the kids' faces and just hearing them laugh and the radio flyer wheels, just hearing them, they may have that distinctive sound. It's great.
Are you looking for a pumpkin? It all started more than 20 years ago by accident.
I used to wholesale pumpkins, and I had a customer that kind of stuck me with a tractor trailer load, and my brother suggested I bring them here.
Hey there, yeah, now we're smiling.
Set those pumpkins out here, and for the first 10 days I didn't sell enough to buy a cheeseburger. And I thought, well, people thought it was just a display. So I started just decorating out here a little bit at a time, and it grew into this. Got you some pumpkins to take home and carve.
Families grew, and so did the pumpkin patch, thanks to his picture-perfect setting and social media.
Yeah, I've had people, call me up and want to sell me advertising. Like, please don't advertise us. What are you trying to do? Kill us? For a place to be able to bring your family and your kids and enjoy all this, every year we look forward to it. Doing fine, I hope y'all are. I've got a lot of friends in the community, and they were strangers when I came here. And, their kindness is what built this.
Well, look at there. There's my whole family. Where'd Buddy
It's
go?
even a tradition for our kiddos, until their patience runs out.
I'm done.
Family tradition, seeing these kids grow up from babies in the last 22 years, that means the world to me.
In Winston-Salem. Looking for Roy's folks.
It's a wonderful community, and just love the people here.
Chad Tucker, Fox 8 News.
I know you love all those.
Fall is here. WNCT is featuring food trucks. Today, we're taking you to Just Grilling in Greenville. It's a new family-owned business. They're cooking up all different kinds of meals, like bacon, egg, and cheeses, to hamburgers and hot dogs. We asked one of the owners what the future holds for them.
Would like to get to the point where we can take one day of our earnings and donate to charity or help somebody in our church that might be fighting cancer or something like that.
Just Grillin' has a Facebook page. That's where you can find where they're setting up shop for the day. This story is an online original. Just go to our website, WNCT.com, for more information on it. One 19-year-old is bringing some tasty sweet treats to Lenoir County. Kinsey Sasser is taking her baking skills to a new store. Her baked goods were previously sold in her mom's coffee shop, but now Kinsey has started her own business right next door.
This past summer, I told my family, I was like, well, maybe I should just open a bakery. Well, my dad helps me fry the donuts. My mom helps me do cinnamon rolls. She can do cakes, anything like that. She actually usually makes all of our birthday cakes and stuff like that. So I've always grew up kind of baking around her.
Sugar Coated Bakery is located on West Vernon Avenue in Kinston. They are open Tuesday through Saturday from 8 in the morning through 5 in the afternoon. A 6-year-old isn't thinking about herself on her birthday, but instead others. Next, her mission to help animals in need. A 6-year-old is doing more than most would do with their birthday presents. In fact, she's not keeping any of them, but instead using her birthday as a way to give back. Here's Hartley's story.
I had chickens and turkeys and one dog and 2 cats.
An invite to Hartley's birthday.
She is just full of ideas and imagination.
Meant going to this 6-year-old's party with a unique present.
She has such a love for animals, and she has for years, ever since she could walk.
Hartley made a wish to put animals first.
We were trying to figure out how she could possibly make a difference or what she could do.
Using all her presents to help 4-legged friends.
I donated some animal food to this animal shelter because I have too many toys, so I decided to do this.
Absolutely proud. She is just a wonderful child. She thinks of others.
And people are noticing just how big her heart is. Beaufort County Animal Services shared this photo of Hartley on Facebook, donating all her presents.
Dog toys and cat toys and beds and food.
It was amazing. It really does help us a lot.
She's not stopping there. Hartley wants to make helping animals her job one day.
An animal doctor because I love animals.
The sky's the limit for her. I think she is on a path, and I think she will accomplish whatever she sets out to do.
She already has the most important quality for the job: generosity.
A lot of people have really been inspired by her, and I think she didn't even realize how much of an impact she would have.
Thank you.
She truly is incredible. If you are interested in adopting any of the cats or dogs at Beaufort County Animal Services or donating in general, we have more information about that over on our website, WNCT.com. NC State is welcoming a new member to their pack, and oh my goodness, is he cute. This is K9 Luke. He's training to become the university's therapy K9. University police posted this photo that we're looking at now. They're asking people if they see Luke around campus to stop by and say hi. We're following up on a story we first told you about a few weeks ago now. A local artist is adding a touch of color to downtown Washington. Samantha Brinson grew up in Washington. She's been painting for more than 10 years. This mural we showed you a few weeks ago is coming along nicely. She restored 4 large murals outside, in the city, and even more indoors.
Just a pure gift. I didn't ask for it, it just happened, and now it's just overwhelming at the love and support I get, and it just makes me proud, seeing my dad proud. I love brightening people's days. There's not one person that goes by and doesn't smile, and so that just gives me all warm inside to keep going. That's the purpose.
Brinson says her schedule is booked from now until February. This is an online original story. You can see the full story over on our website, WNCT.com. And speaking of stories, if you have a story idea, you can send it on over to us. We want to hear about the positive things happening where you live. Just email newsdesk@WNCT.com. It's right there at the bottom of your screen, newsdesk@WNCT.com. You can also reach out to us on Facebook or on Twitter with your story ideas. One man in eastern North Carolina is bringing his family's craft from Mexico. After the break, the story of an Edgecombe County shoemaker as we honor Hispanic Heritage Month. We're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month with the story of a man bringing the craft of his family in Mexico to his adopted home of Edgecombe County. For 25 years now, you can find Oscar Cruz making handcrafted shoes and boots at a shop in Tarboro. Not on Your Side photojournalist Kenneth Roundtree takes us inside.
See, when I come to this country, every town, no matter how small the town was, have 2 or 3 shoe repair shops. Right now, it's hard to find a shoe repair shop. I'm Oscar Cruz. I'm born in Mexico. I'm living in the United States for 48 years. And I'm a boot maker all my life. The real boot make is made in by hand. When I make my first pair, I was 12 years old. The boot, shoes, and leather is in my blood. So make a pair of boots or make a pair of shoes for me, make me real happy. All my material is 100% natural. Alligator is real alligator, and lizard, real lizard. Elephant is real elephant, 100%. I don't use fake material. I don't use any. See this noise? the way we testing a watermelon, good watermelon. This is dry. It's ready to take the last off. So I'm ready to pull the last off, call my customer. He come pick up and he go home real happy, and I stay in my shop real happy too, ready for the next products.
And there is so much more to Oscar's story. For an extended version of our feature, just visit our website, WNCT.com. And as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, a Charlotte woman says her art is influenced by her upbringing in South America. That personal history comes to the forefront in a swirl of colors on canvas. John Lee gets to the roots of the matter.
This one here is about alpacas.
In a Charlotte art studio, we learned something wild about the artist and, yes, alpacas.
Some of the silkiest wool on the planet.
Tina Alberni finds warmth through her work as if she put on an alpaca sweater. The semi-abstract artist works in a creative flurry and draws attention to a stark reality.
When they're sheared incorrectly, industrially, they're harmed and abused. Color speaks to me. It's a language where I can communicate.
Alberni usually paints in themes. Lately, she's focused on endangered animals. One of her past series included a collection of rooftops.
All of my work, if you look through all my series of work, it's very bright and colorful.
The art reflects her bicultural heritage and fond memories growing up in South America.
When I was very young, we moved to Colombia, which was only going to be for a few years.
Her family stayed long enough to make a lasting imprint on Alberni's art.
The colors that I grew up with, there was color in life in everything, like from the food we ate, to the nature we looked at, to the people we met, to the smiles on people's faces.
Her color palette pays homage to Andean culture.
From a very young age, I learned about hope and gratitude through the most challenged people. They were just surrounded by color. I can't explain it, but it was just this joy and happiness. So for me, color is joy and happiness, and I associate that with everything I do in my work.
Her sense of artistic direction may seem random.
This will turn into something very different in the end, but I have to start somewhere.
But her childhood in Colombia still guides her.
But I always bring all my paintings to a point of hope in the end.
In Charlotte, John Lee, Queen City News.
And we're honoring Hispanic Heritage Month all month long. For more stories celebrating and highlighting Hispanic Heritage Month, make sure to visit WNCT.com. You can find stories showcasing the contributions the Hispanic and Latino communities are making here in ENC and across our country. And just so you know, next weekend we will bring you our Hispanic Heritage Month special. It will be Saturday morning at 7:30 on WNCT and Sunday at noon on the Eastern North Carolina CW.
My favorite place to be is in the sky.
This story proves age is just a number and the sky's the limit. Next on 9 on the positive side, the goal this 84-year-old is trying to reach. Today, we're seeing an example of why it's never too late to fall in love. Sarah Murphy met with two people from Utah who started a new life together in an unlikely place.
Game time is a good time for this group aged 70 plus.
Okay, it's your turn.
Word on the street is Scrabble Hour at the Ridge Senior Living Home is no joke.
The prize after this is usually happy hour.
Even if they make it one. Some have experience, but you could call 80-year-old Leo Ludwig new to the game.
Maybe something to build off of, I guess.
She started playing when she moved to the Ridge a year and a half ago. And Scrabble wasn't the only thing she picked up. Did you ever think you would date someone here?
No.
Leo made a new friend.
I never thought something like that would happen.
But it did, and Leo met Alan.
We met at the bar during happy hour, and she was next to me.
He asked me to have dinner afterwards, so we got to know each other.
Leo and Alan started dating a few months ago.
We'd just go across the room to the other table and sit down and get food that comes out of the kitchen. It wasn't a real date going anywhere. It was walking across the room.
A second chance at love. Alan is widowed, and Leo was married and divorced at a young age.
Did you take your medications this morning?
Here's Alan just making sure Mom's comfortable, has everything she needs. Like, she travels with oxygen, he's always carrying it and opening the doors. And I didn't see that, you know, for decades from my mom, and it just touches my heart so, so much.
Together, Leo and Alan go on dinner dates to the cafeteria, take walks around the complex, and make each other laugh.
He keeps thinking we should go on the road. He's such a crazy.
Now, a lifetime of laughter.
I know I might need to kiss your bride.
On September 3rd, Leo and Alan sealed the deal permanently. A senior wedding at the senior living home, showing age is just a number and love knows no limits. I don't think a lot of people expect to get married in their 80s.
Right.
Well, I didn't expect that either, but, you know, it just happened. You know, that we get along so well, and we're company to each other. And why live by yourself if you could have a friend living with you?
A friend found across the hall in a senior living home playing a not-so-competitive board game.
Did you ever think you would find love again?
Not really. I mean, I wasn't looking for it. I mean, it just happened. It's amazing. It really is. But at our age, find companionship with each other, I think it's a blessing and a miracle.
A miracle that comes in a 4-letter word.
Can I spell it? There, love.
But worth far more than 11 points.
Their ceremony was beautiful. A second chance at love. Alan and Leo moved in together at the Ridge and plan to keep going to happy hour and playing Scrabble together for a lifetime. Congratulations to the happy couple. And check this out. An 84-year-old skydiver is taking the leap to get to her goal of 1,000 skydives. Kenor returned to the sport after a 37-year hiatus. She made her start in skydiving in 1959 by forging her parents' signatures to get permission to get her on her first jump. In 1962, she made history by joining the first U.S. women's parachute team. In 2003, she took up skydiving once again, and this time with a purpose.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I mean, my favorite place to be is in the sky. I like to be under a parachute, and that's my favorite thing. I'm 84, but I think mentally I'm probably 20.
She's incredible. Age is just a number, and while Noor is 84, she is sure proving it is never too late to live out your dreams. Good advice. Thanks so much for joining us for 9 on the positive side this weekend. But of course, one last thing before we go, some four-legged friends lending an ear to young readers at this library. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next time.